Well, with the halfway point of the NFL season approaching, it is now time for me to deliver you my Week 8 NFL picks. And starting off the action tomorrow is a game in London at Wembley Stadium that pits the Washington Redskins against the Cincinnati Bengals. And, there was a lot of mystery surrounding this game on the Redskins end because they were not sure if Josh Norman and Jordan Reed would be ready to go. Those guys are so crucial to that team, especially Josh Norman, since he will be covering Cincinnati elite receiver AJ Green. Both have traveled. It seems both will play, which is huge for the Redskins. And I think that Washington will parlay last week's, or better yet, bounce back from last week's heartbreak against the Lions with a win in this one against the Bengals in London. Now, Lions traveling to take on the Houston Texans. This is potentially open season for Brock Osweiler, the most overpaid and overrated quarterback in the NFL. He could have a big day because Detroit's top corner Darius Slay is suffering from a hamstring injury. If he's playing, he won't be 100%. And DeAndre Hopkins could really go off here. So following a humiliating performance on national TV, I think Houston will bounce back at home. I'm taking the Texans over the Lions. Now, Seahawks traveling to take on the Saints. New Orleans' defensive struggles have been well documented this season, and their defense is just really terrible. Russell Wilson was off last week, but I like him to bounce back and have a good game here. I'm taking Seattle on the road. Now, Patriots traveling to take on the Bills. This is a revenge game for Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick has had Rex Ryan's number for years, and Rex Ryan's ineptitude was on full display last week as he relied upon a banged up LaShawn McCoy. And what did he do? He made LaShawn McCoy's injury worse. So that's going to be really bad news for the Bills. They need LaShawn McCoy to win football games. So I think Tom Brady's going to go off. I think he's going to gash the Bills' defense. I'm taking the Pats on the road, avenging their earlier loss this season. Now, with the Jets traveling to take on the Cleveland Browns, this is about as good of an opportunity as any for the Browns to finally get their first win of the season. The Jets are banged up. Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to be playing at quarterback. And, after he pretty much publicly lambasted the coaching and ownership, talking about people not believing him. Newsflash, buddy, when you throw 6 picks in one game, people are not going to believe in you. So Geno Smith down with the torn ACL. Bad news for the Jets. It's really just always bad quarterbacking news for the Jets. Joe Hayden is back for the Browns, which will be huge. He's going to be a crucial part for the Browns, one of the best corners in the NFL. And Josh McCown is looking like he will be ready to go with Cody Kessler banged up. So, I I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Browns are going to get their first dub of the season. Give me Cleveland. I hope they don't let me down. The Raiders traveling to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers have a bad secondary, and that's bad news when they're going up against an elite, yes, I mean elite quarterback in Derek Carr. Some people are calling for him to be the NFL MVP. His poise in leading a young team, winning games, a 5-2 record thus far is immensely impressive. I think Derek Carr is going to have a huge day behind his solid offensive line. So give me the Raiders to win on the road at Tampa Bay. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Andrew Luck is just trying to put a really weak team on his back. I mean, the personnel is amongst the worst in the NFL. The fact that they are 3-4 is practically a miracle. I mean, on both sides of the ball. The talent's just not there. And, I think Spencer Ware is going to have a big day running the ball for the Chiefs. The Chiefs were able to pressure Drew Brees last week. I think they're going to pressure Andrew Luck without a doubt in this game. So I'm taking the Chiefs on the road at Lucas Oil, taking down the Indianapolis Colts. Arizona taking on Carolina. David Johnson is a beast of a running back. Absolutely a top 5 running back in the NFL, probably top 3. No matter who he goes up against, he gets it done week in and week out, which is crucial for the Cardinals because Carson Palmer has not been himself. And, another quarterback who's not been himself this year, Cam Newton. He's taken plenty of shots to the head. Not sure where he is at mentally, considering this has been such a disaster of a season for Carolina. I think that this is another progression in the process of implosion for the Carolina Panthers. They're going to lose at home to the Arizona Cardinals. San Diego at Denver. I've talked about how San Diego's been bit horrifically by the injury bug. Between Keenan Allen and Danny Woodhead's injuries, they've found guys to step up. Phillip Rivers has been absolutely incredible these past 2 weeks. Melvin Gordon also having a great year. But, it's never easy traveling into Mile High Stadium. Trevor Siemian is really going to need to get it done because C.J. Anderson has suffered a pretty bad injury. So, the Broncos seem to be a little bit offensively challenged. However, I think the defense steps up big here, and I'm going to take the Broncos to win a close one here. Packers at Falcons. The Packers have had 10 days off, which is nice to help them come up with a game plan to try and pressure Matt Ryan. The thing is, the Falcons have a solid offensive line, okay? And Julio Jones, of course, is pretty much unstoppable. Incredible talent he is. I think he's going to have a huge day. Atlanta at home is hard to pick against. I'm not going to do it. Picking the Falcons to beat the Green Bay Packers. Now, in Sunday night action, the Cowboys are traveling to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. I feel like Philadelphia is starting to get figured out now after their white-hot start to the season. Carson Wentz, though, give him credit, led the Eagles to a win over the last undefeated team in the NFL last week, the Minnesota Vikings. Huge surprise there. However, the Cowboys are a more talented team. They're going to get it done through the air with Dak Prescott's talents as well as Ezekiel Elliott on the ground behind one of the best, if not the best, offensive lines in all of football. And the Cowboys are coming off a bye. So I think all those things put together mean that Dallas won this game. In Monday night action, a pretty easy game to pick. The Minnesota Vikings playing a hapless Chicago Bears team. Reports emerging in the media that John Fox is done with Jay Cutler. Of course, Cutler's terrible attitude has been well documented, and he's been dealing with health issues as well. I'm sure plenty is going on behind the scenes there, but the Vikings, best defense in the NFL, they're going to play angry. They're going to want a big win, and I think it's going to happen on the road. Give me the Minnesota Vikings to win on Monday nights. And with that, I leave you with my Week 8 NFL picks.